guys, Brian here. Welcome to vlog number 14. So currently right now I'm driving. I'm gonna go watch the new Marvel movie, the Deadpool vs. Wolverine, with my little brother and my cousin. So I'm heading down to Highland Park, which is where kind of my whole family is from, really. And I'm gonna go pick him up, and then we're probably gonna head to the movies from there. And so this vlog, I kind of want to take you guys through more of like my thoughts and opinions with the whole new Toyota scandals that's been going around. I know that that's something that's been on a lot of people's mind. It's something that's kind of making really big headlines, and I kind of want to put my 2 cents in there. I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say, but I feel like as someone that bought a GR Corolla, I feel like I definitely have a very unique kind of input to put into it. So we'll see how you guys feel about it, but we'll have a quick little sequence, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. So
now she wonders if she better be like the on Ruby. Penny in my car, she came to me. Baby, falling love, it's too easy. Now she wonders if she ever told me.
Alright, so I decided to just take a seat for this one. I hope you guys can hear me fine. I think I'm gonna kind of start doing more of these kind of sit down with a beach chair and talk about what I need to talk about type of videos. Just because I feel like, you know, I be talking and I just be walking around a lot, you know, kind of just all over the place, but this might help me kind of just focus in more on what I need to say. And so, back to the topic at hand. So, as a quick disclaimer, you know, I've been seeing all the videos that have been coming out when it comes to just the general like idea of what happened with this Toyota situation. So pretty much for those that don't know, I'm just going to give a very brief summary of what I understand, which is the fact that pretty much a guy was driving his GR Corolla on the freeway, and suddenly he started getting a bunch of check engine lights, and then he pulled over to the side of the road, and then his car just caught on flames, burned to the ground pretty much, was completely totaled, and he went to go to Toyota to put in a claim for warranty, and they decided to deny his warranty, or deny his claim due to, I guess, the results being inconclusive. And I think they're really trying to pin it down on the fact that his tires were not rated for the proper speed. And the way that they were able to gather this information was through, I believe, the My Toyota app, which is kind of crazy. And I want you guys to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because I'm not fully versed in the situation of what's going on, and I don't really want to get into much detail of what that situation is, because there's a lot of he say, she say type of situation going on there, and I don't want to say the wrong thing or give misinformation. and really get into someone else's personal issues that aren't my issues, but this is going to be more of my thoughts of the situation and kind of how that kind of makes me feel as far as being a GR Corolla owner. It's definitely a little shocking to me, but I think that there is two sides of the story. That's something about me, is that I always kind of try to see both sides. And so I feel like, as far as like my situation, my car, and my understanding of what warranty really is from what I've always understood, and what most dealerships have told me, is that the warranty really only covers like any premature engine failure, any premature failures within the car, anything electronically, anything that goes completely wrong, and they can kind of just throw different things at it. So that's like, let's say my head gaskets blow out prematurely, they're more than happy to switch out the engine, or repair the head gasket, repair the engine for me. And that's as far as my understanding of what warranty is, and if you total out the car where it becomes a total loss, that's when the gap insurance that most dealerships try to sell you comes into play, where it's like if you owe negative equity or anything like that, the gap kind of covers whatever the insurance doesn't want to cover, right? And I feel like this is the issue that this gentleman is having, where he burnt the car got burnt to the ground, insurance gave him a certain amount of money. He kind of went to Toyota to get the other amount, but Toyota is denying his claim due to him running the improper tires, which doesn't really make sense, because his tires, out of all the engine lights that he was getting, the tire light was not one of them, right? And luckily for him, he had a dash cam, and I feel like he's probably going to end up going to court for this. And I'm very curious to see what comes out of that situation. But as far as like my understanding of what warranty is, I feel like that's probably more along the lines of what I believe it is. And maybe I should do more research on it, because a lot of these, I feel like what's wrong is a lot of these dealerships really sell this warranty like it's like the save all, and if anything goes wrong, the warranty is going to cover you, which isn't necessarily the case. And that is due to a lot of factors. Mostly, I feel like money and greed, and not wanting to put the customer first and wanting to turn a profit. It becomes a big loss if they're trying to replace a whole GR Corolla for this guy. And that's probably the biggest reason why they're denying this claim. But with that being said, am I scared, or am I afraid that the same situation is going to happen to me? I don't think so. The thing is, there's a lot of what ifs. Like, we don't really know what modification, at least I don't know what modifications he had, if he did any modifications, if the previous owner did any modifications, if he bought used or new. I don't know these details, and I feel like that's not, like I said, that's not my personal issue to get into, because I feel like he has his own things going on. And I feel like it's not fair for me to try to time in and put in my input if I don't really know 100% of the story. I wasn't there, I'm not him. Me and him have the same name, which is kind of funny. But yeah, definitely. Am I scared? I don't think so. I don't think I really ever buy a car in the hopes to ever use the warranty. With my Subaru, I knew I personally voided the warranty when I got it tuned, and I did that after a year of owning the car. So I knew that long term I wasn't going to be covered, and I felt like the same is going to go with this car, where it's like, I hope that I could get covered for as long as I can, and if I have to go down that road where I feel like the car is unreliable and I need to go take it in and I need to go do that battle, I know it's always going to be an uphill battle with these dealerships. No dealership is really like going to make that process easy, and that's something that is, I think that's kind of the issue that's highlighted the most with this situation, is the fact that dealerships are so hard to work with, and they're not very clear of what they're covering or what they're not covering, what they're investigating, what they're not investigating. And I feel like that's not fair to us, because they push these warranties down our throats when we're out here buying these cars. And I feel like it's not fair for us to be scared and be worried about if it's even worth it, if we're spending all this extra money, especially for the people that buy the extended warranty like I did. I bought the extended warranty. Maybe I was dumb for that, but I was under the impression that the warranty was going to cover, for the duration of how long I've owned the car, and if I have any issues with the car within 100,000 miles, I should be covered, but it's things where I'm not at fault, right? Like, this car should not be burning down in flames after 23,000 miles. And I feel like that's the issue at hand, where if this man is truly not at fault and he really didn't modify his car and he was just driving the car normally, and it just bursted out in flame, which what seems to be the story and what seems to be what's going on, then it's really sad to see Toyota not really cover that issue. And I would hope that they would. Me personally, I trust the car. I trust the engine that I have. I trust the setup that I have. I don't plan on really modifying the car. And I feel like, me personally, like, does it give me a distaste to own a Toyota at this point? I don't think so. I think that there's definitely two sides of the story, and I feel like I'd love to see more come out about this. Do I feel like the uproar of what's going on is warranted for this, and all the hate and all the big headlines that Toyota's getting is warranted? I think so. I think that they definitely deserve the heat that they're going to get, and I think that personally they should be covering this issue. I hope the guy takes him to court. I hope he wins. I hope that this ends up being a bigger issue than it has to be, just for the sake of taking care of all of the rest of the owners. Because the last thing I would want to do is have to make a claim, and if I do have to, I would expect Toyota to have my back there, just because I'm the customer. I'm spending a lot of money owning this car, and I love this car. I love Toyota in general, so if they're not going to take care of me, then it's really not fair for me to give them all this praise, but I feel like, like, at the end of the day, there's two sides of the story. I don't want to say he's wrong. I don't want to say Toyota's wrong, but I do believe that I feel confident with this purchase. I feel confident with the setup. I feel confident with everything that's going on. I feel confident with the car. And am I scared? Not really. I would, knocking on wood, I pray that I never have to make a claim. But if I do, I have a strong feeling that Toyota should be able to honor the warranty that they gave me, as long as it's basic stuff. I feel like this is a very extreme example of what the warranty can be. I'm more curious in people that has blown engines or has gone through the trouble of having really unreliable issues and knowing if they've been covered or not. Because having a car burn down in flames and then trying to claim a warranty claim is a pretty extreme example of what a warranty is. So I feel like there's two ends of the spectrum. If anything ever happens to me, I hope I'm more in the middle, and I feel like I'm more curious to know the examples of that are in the middle and what happens to those cars. So with that being said, let me go ahead and grab this. So with that being said, I hope you guys can hear me for one, just because I know that I'm kind of sitting a little bit further away from the camera than I normally am. But at the same time, I hope you guys have an understanding of what I really believe in all of this, because I do believe that there is two sides, and I do believe that Toyota at the end of the day should cover something, at this point, because if he really didn't do anything to the car, he didn't touch anything, and it just randomly just burst into flames, like nothing was ever touched back there, then at that point I feel like, then what's the holdup? There shouldn't be this drawn out thing if that's the case. But if he was back there and he was messing with it, maybe installing certain things, had an intake and all of these other things that aren't really going to cause a car to burn down in flames, but you never really know what's been disconnected, what's not disconnected, because to even have a fire, you need a few things. You need gas, or you need fuel, you need air, and you need spark. And so the three of those things came together somehow, some way, and it's hard to tell what really happened. And I feel like I don't want to, you know, accuse Toyota of being unfair, just because this is such an extreme example of what a warranty claim can be. You know, like most warranty claims are, you know, hey, my starter went out early, you know, can you guys replace it? And they're like, yeah, no problem. You know, like, hey, you know, I'm getting a weird misfire. Okay, yeah, let's diagnose it. Okay, we found that the spark plug was bad or something, you know, the gaps were improper. We're going to get you a new engine, things like that. You know, like that's normally what my understanding of warranty claims are. It's never your car burns down in flames and now suddenly you want a whole new car. You know, but things happen, and it very well could be an issue within the car. I mean, for me, I've never had any issues so far. I mean, I've owned the car for 8 months. I don't even have 23,000 miles on the car, but I would assume that the car will be fine for, you know, over 100,000 miles at least. And so, you know, like I feel like I said, two sides of the story, and I feel like we shouldn't let, you know, the propaganda get to us too much. Like, yeah, it's good to take notice. It's good to be worried, and it's good to kind of notice the issues within like car manufacturers these days, because these guys are multi-billion, you know, trillion-dollar companies, some of them, and Toyota is one of the biggest companies in the world. You know, like they should be able to take care of us, and I feel like for the most part they will. And so hopefully you guys kind of have a better understanding of at least what I feel about the situation, and I hope that I'm spreading at least a little bit of awareness and a little bit of kind of just like sense into the situation, to where like people aren't just going around and thinking that all Toyotas are going to burn down in flames, because these are two very extreme examples. And I feel like as time goes on, we're going to get other examples of different situations, whether it's blown head gaskets, blown whatever, you know, someone detonated, or someone, you know, freaking starved the engine of oil. Who knows? You know, the engine just didn't get a change, or had an oil leak and all the oil was gone, and the engine blew because of that, you know, or wore down because of that. You know, like there's a lot of things that are yet to come, and I feel like I'm more curious with that, just because, yeah, these are very extreme examples here. There's the bottom spectrum, top of the spectrum. We're at the top, and we gotta realize that these top situations are very rare. They do happen, obviously, right? But it's hard to kind of judge the consensus, and it's hard to kind of really, you know, shit on the situation when you don't really know the full details. And I don't really want to spread misinformation, like I said before. And so with that being said, I'm gonna end that here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are safe. I hope you guys don't think that Toyota's out here to steal your money, because I don't think they are, you know. But at the same time, I do hope that you guys are staying on top of your maintenance, drinking your water, taking care of yourself, and I will catch you guys on the next one. If you guys made it this far, what are you guys doing? Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.